So in one way, it was positive because, like you said, you're not lashing out against your mom. You're not, physically hitting her or your sister. You're not putting yourself in a situation potentially to go back to the hospital.
Mm.
But at the same time, setting a fire could be dangerous, perhaps even illegal, depending on where you do set the fire, so that could also put you at chance to go to prison.
I didn't know it was illegal to set fire.
Mm.
Never thought about that.
Right. Okay. Well, Mr. Whitaker, I just want to keep going here with a little bit of this anger, because it seems that this anger that you have, this aggression, is kind of what's leading to some of your problems. I think that maybe the lashing out against your mom and your sister, and also setting these fires were acts that were done because you were angry. Would you agree with that?
Yeah,
Okay.
definitely angry. Yeah.
Angry, right? And you also mentioned earlier a little bit about the jobs that you've had in the past.
Mm.
So you mentioned being fired from a few of those jobs. I was wondering if you could just elaborate a little bit on that and kind of tell me, maybe some of the circumstances around why you were fired, things like that.
The last job I had was at McDonald's.
Mm-hmm.
I got fired because I was placed in a psychiatric hospital, and they basically said that I was a no-call, no-show because I was in a psychiatric hospital. And then the other place that I got fired from, my girlfriend came over to the job. I was doing, I would clean up, what I'm saying, this warehouse after everybody was done.
Mm-hmm.
This was like a year and a half ago.
Okay.
I got this job and I'm cleaning up the warehouse after everybody's done. And my girlfriend comes over to the job
Mm-hmm.
and starts picking a fight with me because of some other girl who I never messed with or anything like that, but she swore up and down that this girl was trying to get at me, and then I was trying to get back at her and all this other stuff like that, and I was like, I wasn't trying to get at her, and she's arguing, she's yelling, she's cussing me out, and what happened was that it was in an industrial park.
Right.
So there's another warehouse next door,
Mm-hmm.
and they hear all this yelling and cussing. They call the cops. So the job, they fired me
Okay.
because they said I was causing a disturbance. So
But your girlfriend came that day,
Mhm.
just to be sure. She came that day, and
Mhm.
the two of you got into an argument, and then one thing kind of led to another. Then.
yeah,
Okay. All right. So, can we talk a little bit about your girlfriend?
yeah.
Just trying to get a feel for kind of your social support,
Mhm.
who you have around you. Because like we were talking about earlier, some of these aggressive incidents, they could be directed out towards the people who are closest. For example, your mom, your sister, your girlfriend. So one of the things that we want to work on moving forward would be to kind of recognize who we might be able to hurt with these acts, and then that way, when we come up with some coping methods later on, or maybe even some goals, we can kind of figure out how we can be able to keep these people safe while also keeping you safe and out of trouble.
Okay.
So, tell me a little bit about your girlfriend. How long have you guys been dating?
4 years.
Wow. Okay. So is that from high school then, I'm guessing, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
The last high school that I was at. That's the
Mhm.
That's the first time I met her. And
You said the first high school you were at?
no, the last high school that I was at.
Oh, okay.
I went to two high school. Well, I went to 3 high schools. One was a regular high school, and 2 were alternate schools, alternative schools.
Mm-hmm. And why were you in the alternative schools?
Fighting.
Fighting.
Mm.
Mm.
So the first alternative school, I was in high school, and I got into a fight, and then I got into a fight again with the guy, when I came back from suspension, the same guy. So
Same guy?
Yeah, so they told me, instead of kicking me out of school, they would send me to an alternative school.
Mhm.
So I went to this alternative school that was like 15 minutes away from my house.
Right.
And then at that alternative school, I don't like the teacher that I had.
Mhm.
The teacher that I had, and then we sat in the same classroom all day,
Mhm.
and it's just like, you know, come on, you gotta get me out of here,
Right.
you know. So the teacher was always saying some sly stuff to me all the time, you know what I'm saying? So I cussed the teacher out and I left. So what happened was that because I left and I didn't come back, they sent a notice to my mom
Mhm.
saying that she would go to jail or something like that if I missed any
Wow.
more time in school.
Mhm.
So she found this other alternative school, which is in another district,
Okay.
and they accepted me. So I went there, and that's where I met my girlfriend.
Okay. At the alternative school.
Yeah.
All right. So in that moment, you know, when you got to your first alternative school, in that moment that you were cussing the teacher out, what kind of feelings did you have?
I was frustrated, man. Listen,
Frustrated.
I'm in the same classroom all day. When I was in high school, I didn't stay in the same classroom all day.
Got to move around and see
Moved
different parts of
around,
school. Right.
yeah,
Mhm.
did all kinds of stuff, met all kinds of people, you know. Then I get to this alternative school, and I'm in the same classroom with the same teacher all day long. And this teacher is, I mean, she was horrible. She was horrible.
Mm.
And I was like, oh, I shouldn't be here. And I was, you know, I would have to talk to the principal every day, and I'm telling the principal, hey, listen, I shouldn't be here. I should be back at my old high school. And
Right.
he was like, well, you gotta prove yourself here, and then we'll send you back. And I was like, how long? And he wouldn't tell me how long. So,
So that's frustrating too.
Yeah.
Right? Not getting a straight answer.
yeah, it was just like, come on, man. Does everybody else, I couldn't see who else was here.
Right.
Does anybody else stay in the same classroom all day long?
Mhm.
And he said, I can't give out that information. Why can't you give out information like that? I'm just asking a simple question. Is this the only classroom here in this alternative school? I had gym with these guys, I had lunch with these guys, I had all these other classes with these guys. And it's like, come on, man.
Right. So it's safe to say you kind of got over that pretty quickly.
Oh, I was over that the second, third day I was there. I was like, you gotta be
Right.
kidding me. You think I'm just gonna sit
Sure.
here in this one class
Right.
all day?
That's
Then they
really
come,
tough.
then they come pick me up. Then they came pick me up in this short bus. I'm like, come on, man. Really? You want me to just hop in a short bus?
Right. It's different.
The same time everybody else is getting on the bus to go to my my old school.
Mm.
You gonna come with the short bus? So now they think I'm stupid.
Right.
And it's like, come on, man.
Okay. If others did think you were stupid, what impact would you say that has on you? I mean, you know, let's use that example from that situation there.
Mhm.
You know, while you're at the bus stop, you know, your friends, the people who you used to see in school,
Mhm.
they're all getting on the full-size school bus to go to your old high school, and
Mhm.
here you are at the bus stop, same bus stop with them, and
Yeah. Well,
here you go, getting on this short bus going to a totally different school. What was that
well,
feeling like?
Those people I really don't care
Okay.
about. But I did have friends at my old high school,
Mm-hmm.
and I didn't want them to think that I was stupid.
Right.
Because, you know, we were all in the same classes.
Do you still make contact with any of those friends?
Only one.
Only one.
Yeah, there's only one.
Okay.
That's still my friend.
And do you think that's because that you went to those different schools, or do you think it's just kind of, you know, growing up, losing touch with people?
I think he's the only one that you know, when I look back at it, he was the only one that was really down with me from day one. Because when you know, when I started moving to other schools and then, you know, going going to these different hospitals, man, he was the only one that stuck with me, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So, all the
supported
other,
you.
and all the other people, they dropped off as soon as I went to the alternative school.
Mhm.
And he's the only one that stuck around, so.
Okay. So, in finishing with these alternative schools here, so you went to the first one, and then that's the one that you also got moved to a new one. So the second one you mentioned is where you met your girlfriend.
Right.
Did you also graduate from there?
No. I'm working on my GED.
Okay, currently. Okay.
Well, I was until I got hospitalized again this last time.
Mm. And, I mean, besides this minor, derailment, do you plan on continuing to finish that GED?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I got plans, man.
Right.
I can't do my plans without at least a GED.
That's good. Yep. Education will take you far, especially if you have plans. You need that.
Yeah.
So what would be the next step for you, do you think, after the GED? Do you want to pursue like college or maybe even community college, something close by?
I would love to go to college.
Okay.
The hospital told me that there's a program that I can go into
Mm-hmm.
where DDD, if I apply with DDD, they'll get me into the college and DDD will pay for it. So that's what I would like to do. I want to get into with DDD. The hospital also said to get with DDD to get placed in an apartment too.
Okay.
Because I applied to a lot of apartments around my way,
Mhm.
and none of them, when they do a background check, when they see that fire setting,
Mm.
they done with me. I don't even get a chance to look at the apartment.
So, the fire setting,
Mhm.
now this came as a part of, was this when you first got hospitalized in the psychiatric hospital? Was that when they added that fire setting, or was this possibly stemming from run-ins with the police or anything in the past, or this is because of the hospitalization?
I think, what I think is the last fire
Mm-hmm.
was,
Sneakers,
no,
not the sneakers?
that was the second fire.
Okay,
The last fire was, I set fire to the house.
okay.
So so that's where they found out about all the other two fires,
Mhm.
because the last fire was to the house.
Okay. And, were the police involved in that?
Yeah.
Police.
Fire department, everybody was there.
Right.
And they handcuffed me, and
That's what brought you to court? And then
that's one of the courts.
Okay, and then that's when that decision was made between your mom and the court to send you here to me?
No, that decision was made when I almost broke her arm. I had to go to a hospital. I had to go to the psychiatric hospital in the middle of the state when I did the fire to the house.
Okay,
But she didn't press charges against me though, so that's why I went to the hospital. If she would have pressed charges, I would have went to jail because I was over 18.
right. So there weren't any charges from that?
No.
Okay. I mean, looking back on that, that situation, with the police department being there, with the firefighters being there, putting out the fire in your house, and for your mom to not press charges, what do you get out of that? Like, what do you think that says about your mom towards you?
I know she loves me,
Mm-hmm.
and I love her. I can't live with her though. I can't. There's got to be another place, And I told her, I wrote letters to her, and I called her all the time when I was in that first hospital. I told her how sorry I am for what I did, and how sorry I am, because she could have died, and
Right.
then You know, I wasn't thinking about any of that when I set the fire.
Right.
But afterwards, you know, when I was sitting in that cop car, and I had those handcuffs on and everything like that, everything, I started just going in my mind, what was going on, what's happening, and it's just
Right.
like, yo man, what the heck am I doing, you know? What am I doing, man?
Mm-hmm.
My mom could have died, I'm trying to burn the house down.
Right.
And it's just, you know, but I can't live with it, though.
Okay.
I can't live with it. I gotta
Mhm.
either find my way to Colorado or with my dad, or I gotta, or like I said, my mom, all I had to do was sign some papers. My mom filled out this application with DDD.
Mhm.
The hospital filled out this application with DDD, and I'm just waiting to be accepted, and then when they accept me, they're gonna help me find an apartment. So, you know, I think she knows now that it's just best that we're not living together, that I don't live with her.
Mm-hmm. So where are you living currently then? Are you still at home just waiting on kind of that approval to go through?
We're just, like I said,
Okay. You kind of stay out of
she stays upstairs.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I've been able to hang out with friends.
Mm-hmm. Kind of get your mind off things a
acquaintances
little
with
bit.
my girlfriend. I hang out with my girlfriend. I hang out with, well, the people I was working with. I ain't working with them no more. But,
Mm-hmm.
and I just try to stay away from her and
Okay.
not really say much at
Yeah.
all.
So how's that been working out for you? I mean, it's got to be a little bit difficult. I mean, living in the same house as your mom, but you know, in the instances that you do see each other, how does those situations usually play out?
I think we both know that it's just best that that we don't really say much, and we really haven't. Like, you know, she's been leaving notes,
Mm.
you know, on the refrigerator and stuff like that for things for me to do.
Yeah.
Please take out the trash, please.
Mm-hmm.
Do this and do that and everything like that. I do it and just keep them, you know, just keep it moving.
Right.
I don't write a note back and nothing.
Right. Mm-hmm.
We had one talk. Before we were talking about, you know, my girlfriend coming and spend the night, or before that we had a talk about rent, paying her rent,
Mm-hmm.
because, you know, I was working at McDonald's, so, and I just said, whatever I'll give you my check, you just take what you want out of it and just give me the rest.
Right. Okay.
Just so I don't, you know, ain't arguing or nothing.
Right.
So,
How does that feel, being able to do those things for your mom? You know, like you said, she leaves you notes on the fridge, sometimes some chores for you to do maybe, or, you know, she might ask for you to help her out with the rent, or she did ask you to help her out with the rent. How does that feel, being able to, like, contribute and help your mom out?
Never thought about it like that, helping her out. It was just pretty much what I thought I'm supposed to do. She tells me to do this, do it. I mean, that's never been a problem in the past,
Mm-hmm.
you know. If she asks me to wash the dishes, I'll wash the dishes. She tells me to take out the trash, I'll take out the trash.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, this whole paying rent thing is new,
That's new.
but she's not even really taking any money out of my check.
Okay.
So,
Yeah.
she took $50 out. I get paid every 2 weeks. She took $50 out of that check.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, you know,
Right. So it's not much, but
No,
it's
no.
something.
yeah.
Okay. Do you think that moving into the future that, you know, this is something that you might be okay with? I mean, at least until you get the approval to move into your own apartment. Do you think that, you know, for, let's say, the next couple of weeks or so, would you be receptive to the idea of, you know, helping your mom out with the rent and helping her out with the chores around the house? You know, if she ever leaves a sticky note for you or asks you to do something, think that that's something you would be capable of?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm working out so far.
Yeah, right. Right. Okay. All right, Mr. Whitaker, so, I'd like to just kind of go back to, you know, the reason why you're here today. So, if you would, you know, just put in a few words the reason why you're here, besides, you know, the agreement between your mom and the court, what would you say is, the reason that we're here today?
I have anger issues, and I need help with you know, just being able to handle what she says to me, and you know, do something else instead of, you know, hitting her or pushing her or anything like that. Be able to do something else. Keep me out of the courts, keep me out of jail.
Right. Right.
Well, I'm here because I have anger issues. Like I said, I sat in that jail cell for 12 hours. And I had a chance to think.
It's a long time.
Yeah, I sat in that jail cell for 12 hours, and basically I said, if I didn't hit her, or if I didn't grab her, or if I didn't, you know, if I didn't do any of those things, I wouldn't be here. Or I wouldn't have been in that jail cell, or I wouldn't have been in those 2 other hospitals. So
Right.
I said, I gotta do something about this anger. It's like it's like from, she says something, boom, instantly.
Okay. So it seems like, I mean, even though that may have been a negative situation at the time, you know, spending 12 hours in any jail cell can't be any fun, but it seems like those 12 hours are rather beneficial to you, because it seems like it gave you some time to kind of reflect on some of the things that, you know, kind of put you in that situation and led you up to that moment. So,
Yeah, definitely did a lot of thinking.
right.
A lot of thinking.
Yeah.
And then,
Okay. So I'd like you to do a little bit more thinking here. So, you know, you mentioned aggression is the reason why you're here. You know, you even said that you need help. So I'm glad that you can say that. And I'm glad that you have taken accountability of that, because I think that, you know, in speaking with you, that's one of the things that I've identified as an issue that we can work on moving forward. And I think that this is a very very manageable issue. It's not something that's going to be ridiculously hard to change. It's not something that's going to be very easy to change. So it is